recording has started, and then same as last time, it'll just be a minute or so while I'm looking for something to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, and then last time, yes, we did go over Mercy as well. Alright, so I'm just rewatching this for half a second. Yeah, good res.
Got you good as new. I'm with you.
Okay, last time did we go over pocket targets?
I don't remember. I
Don't
don't think
recall?
so.
Okay. So when it comes to knowing who, like Mercy as a character, is a very pocket-oriented character. And typically the best characters for her to pocket are going to be the DPS. We'll go more in depth on this and what
Yeah.
that means. But just generally speaking, Mercy likes to stick with DPS. This is because of the fact that when it comes to, it's pretty much she's like would be like the opposite of like an Ana or a BAP, right? So you're running Mercy and BAP here, right? And think through your two jobs when it comes to healing the rest of your team. Okay, Mercy does not do very high healing output, so she does not have high burst healing. BAP does have high burst healing, so this means that Mercy is going to be inadequate when it comes to healing tanks for the most part, whereas BAP is going to be adequate at healing them. Whereas it also is going to be more difficult for BAP to keep up with the high skill shots of shooting a soldier and a Hanzo, whereas Mercy can follow them around very easily and keep her beam on them very, very easily just by clicking a button, and then it stays with them the whole time, and it's very consistent. Additionally, DPS will have the most damage to actually boost when you damage boost. So therefore, Mercy is going to prefer to damage boost DPS most of the time, not really tanks, and then that pairs well with another support who does prefer the tanks over the DPS. Now that's not to say that we never ever heal our tanks or support or something like that, right? The main thing to think about when we're healing them is it really necessary? And you could maybe do it if it's like in between a fight where there's nothing else to do, because it's just a really low priority on the list, or you can do it when your tanks are low or in danger, noting that there's a difference between the two. I don't think we would have talked about that last time. Possibly we did. But when somebody is in danger, right? Or I can be, sorry, let me correct myself. I can be 1 HP and sitting back here completely safe, right? In which case, you probably would still heal up your tanks, but maybe you don't need to because BAP can just heal them up and you can stay on your DPS, right? Something like that. But your tank can also be full HP and in the middle of their team and much, much more in danger, right? So your tanks, their health bars and their danger level will dictate when you need to be on them. So here, for example, where we were on them for a good decent bit of time here, right? Where we left the soldier, we went down to look at them. So like here we go down to look at these guys right here, and we res soldier, and then we come back. So we're with these guys on the bottom for a good 10 seconds here or so, and they're not low, they're not in danger, right? It's just neither or. So you want to make sure you're watching out for, are they low, are they in danger, do they actually need your healing? And then there's also other situations where we can go to them. It just gets a little bit more complicated from there. Um, when it comes to pocketing people, there's going to be really good pocket targets and really bad pocket targets. Like on your team, do you maybe have a guess like who would be your best pocket target here?
Soldier first, I would guess, and then
Oh, sorry, you sound a bit quiet. Can you say that again?
soldier first, just because soldier can do a little bit, like more is it like burst damage? Or
But by the way, your mic, you sound like you're like really far away from your microphone. That's probably just because it's a phone mic. But I
yeah,
think I hear you saying soldier and then Hanzo, which,
soldier, yes.
yeah, so you'd be correct. And then therefore we want to be pocketing him. Now, I want to. You've probably heard that term before, pocketing, but the way I would like you to think of pocketing is like this, and that is he is your default target. So that's kind of like a term shift. The popularized term within coaching culture and the gameplay with people is pocket targets. I prefer the term default targets because it very much it asserts the kind of how to in it. So how you approach your default target is that anytime nobody else needs you, you default back to that person. So anytime the no other member of your team needs you, you're going back to Soldier or back to Hanzo. Whereas if you are needed because somebody's low, somebody's in danger, or you need to go for a res or something along those lines, then you leave them. But then as soon as you're no longer needed, you default back to your default target. So that would be my recommendation here. We are not defaulting back to Soldier, and we're kind of leaving him unnecessarily here and sticking on our tanks where maybe that's not really necessary whatsoever. Soldier's like right behind us here, and we probably could heal him up. So that all makes sense? Okay. Last time, did we discuss your beam sensitivity last time? It's possible your mic's not cutting in. I to reiterate the question, did we talk about your beam sensitivity last time?
Did you
Uh,
hear that?
no, it's not coming through. Sorry, I think you're like cutting in and out here.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I don't know. It's
Yeah,
not working. I'm
all good.
gonna
Well
see if
then,
I have another.
mhm. You could also,
Um,
yeah, I mean, like you could try to swap to a different mic. You could potentially text me your answers over Discord, or I could just do a style. I can just coach more of a monologue.
hold on. I'm gonna see if my. Hold on. Hold
Okay. Well, I hear you better now that you're saying hold on, hold on.
on. How does this?
Say
Hello?
that again. Hmm? Hello?
Hold on.
Yes, I can hear you fine now.
Can you hear me? Hello?
Hello, I can hear you. Though that time it sounded quieter than before. And I can I hear you if you're currently talking.
Hello?
Hello?
Hello? Oh my.
Hi, I can hear you. I think it's like
Hello?
hi. I think I'm only hearing like every other word you're saying. Because you'll say hello and then you'll cut out for a good 7 seconds.
It's because it's connecting my both headsets now.
Oh, that's weird.
So this is. I'm so sorry about this. Is it connecting? What's that?
Uh, I heard you. Those sound a little far away.
Is it still not working properly?
Now you sound normal.
Okay, there you go.
Okay.
Oh, I should have a new headset for next time. I'm so sorry.
All good. So last time, did we talk about beam sensitivity?
No, we didn't.
No? Are you familiar with
I
what
don't
that
think so.
is?
Um, the- yes, but I don't know how to explain it, I guess.
Okay.
So maybe that's a no.
So you do know what it is, but you haven't. And have you adjusted it at all before?
I don't think so. I think it's default.
Okay. So to reiterate what it does, then, right? Your beam sensitivity means that when it is at 10%, which is the lowest it can go, it means that
Mm-hmm.
you will have to be directly staring at somebody for it to your beam to register on them, which is not very good. It'll mean that you're basically a skill shot character. But if
Mm-hmm.
you have it at 100%, then it's gonna kind of be very lenient towards who it's putting it towards. Now this wasn't actually the situation I thought it was. I just kind of it made me think about it. But there's gonna be situations where you are looking closer. You might be looking at BAP here, but then Arissa
Mm-hmm.
receives it because Arissa is a bit closer to your screen or something of
Okay.
that sort. And then that's
Mm-hmm.
situations where you don't want it to be super high. So my recommendation would be lowering it a little bit towards around the 50 to 80 range. And then that
Okay.
additionally can be done with Guardian Angel as well. So this allows you to be
Mm-hmm.
more accurate, especially within crowds of people. And then that can be done as well
Mm-hmm.
across various different characters like Ana Nano and Brig Armor
Mm-hmm.
Packs, etc.
Okay.
Got you good as new. I'm with
Okay,
you.
and then last time did we go over overhealing?
Uh, Basically having the heal being on full HP characters.
Yeah. So
No, I know I sometimes get a little bit tunnel vision with that.
yeah, so we didn't discuss it, but that's something that just is there. So yeah, you
Yeah.
get you got the concept. You just want to make sure watching it. So like here we can go back through just to see the seriousness of it when it kind of happens. So when you do overheal, note that it is essentially just wasted time. It's time where we're doing absolutely
Mm-hmm.
nothing because nothing's happening. So if it adds up, think of it as if that's time that you're essentially dead because you're just non-existent. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so here we can count through how often are we doing it. We do this a little bit on the soldier here, I think, right? Overhealing a little bit, so that's like 1 second. Okay. So we saw like a second of it. It's not too bad.
Regen burst
Okay.
activated.
2, 3, 4,
Got you good as new.
4,
I'm with you. I have the barrier.
5.
Out of existence.
Okay, so we saw 5 seconds of it so far. 6, 7,
Healing stream engaged.
8.
Damage amplified. Let's get you back out there. Don't stop now.
Okay, 9, 10, 11. Right, okay, so now the fight's over. So, roughly 9 to 11 seconds through the fight. That really adds up when it's happening super consistently, right? Because right now we're like a minute into the game. Let's just say that it's on the very conservative side, right? Let's say 10 seconds every minute, every single game, right? So this game, that
Mm-hmm.
would be, let's say you have 15 fights, right? That's going to be 15 times 10s, just be adding a 0, that'd be 150 seconds, right? 150 seconds, that'd be 2 minutes and 30 seconds, right? Or,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, am I doing that math right? So that's essentially 2 minutes and 30 seconds where you're doing absolutely nothing, right? You're just non existent for that time. So it really adds up when it
Mm-hmm.
lasts that long. So, recommendations, right? Make sure that
Mm-hmm.
you're getting into the habit because this is really a bad habit, is what it is. And that you can say that about like
Yeah.
any repetitive. That's what a habit is. It's either something you do good consistently, or something a bad habit is something you do bad consistently. So there's a very obvious
Yeah.
form of that. And you want to get into the habit of, as soon as you see somebody's health is full HP, you immediately swap to a damage boost, right? To heal somebody up.
Mhm.
You'll see the health bar on your screen. You can see their health bar underneath your crosshair on their health bar. You can actually even hear your. I'm not sure if you ever really
You can
listened
hear
for
it.
it. Yeah, you
Yeah.
can hear it, right? You'll
Yeah.
hear
Yeah.
the little ding, right? So
Yeah.
immediately that ding should kind of be the cue to just swap to the damage boost, and then you're looking for somebody else to heal, something else to do with that time.
Mhm.
Now, additionally, note kind of the targets here that we're healing up, right? And kind of like when we're doing it, right? We discussed when we're not needed, we default to soldier, right? We can think through, right? Kind of, all right, are we needed for anybody? Right? You can look top left, and so note as well, right? When it comes to overhealing, sometimes it's even considered overhealing if somebody is very, very close to being full HP as well, right? Because you can think through, right? Somebody's down
Mhm.
10, 20 HP, and you can think, okay, is 10, 20 HP really worth your time in comparison to other things you could be doing
Yeah.
with your time? And then
Yeah.
that could be considered overhealing as well. Now, if it's in between a fight and there's absolutely nothing else to do, then go ahead and do it. But maybe for example, if Arissa's just down 30 HP, or I guess this is 50 HP, you could potentially just let Bap heal her up and start damage boosting the soldier here, right? Sigma's full HP, right?
Damage
But Bap is full
amplified.
HP, right? We're swapping between all these full HP characters instead of swapping over to the soldier, and putting your
Mhm.
beam on him, right? Which is what we want to be doing, and then we
Let's get
pretty
you back
much
out
immediately
there.
swap off. Like once again, maybe not fully necessary if Arissa's only down 50 HP here.
Don't stop now.
Alright, and then we can skip forwards. Oh, super jump, very nice.
Schaden verstärkt.
Between Hanzo and
And he.
Soldier, I would probably recommend damage boosting Soldier over Hanzo. Not to say that
Mhm.
Hanzo is a bad target to damage boost, but Hanzo is a little bit more.
Like,
I'd say he gets less value
has
out of it.
slower.
Think of it
He
like
makes. Yeah.
this.
Hold on.
When you're damage boosting a Hanzo, he's going to a lot of times be missing more shots, so less of the shots are getting a
Mhm.
damage boost. And when you damage boost a Hanzo, I don't think actually I might be wrong here. I'm struggling to remember. That doesn't. Maybe you can correct me. It damage boosting a Hanzo, does that allow him to one shot body shot people?
Uh,
I don't think it does.
I don't think so.
I think that
I
would be a
don't
little bit
because
busted if he could.
Mercy Beam
Yeah.
doesn't it only increase the damage by 30%
Yeah, I
or
don't
something
think
like
it
that?
allows him to. So, right, you can think through, all right, we're damage reducing the Hanzo, but it's not even allowing him to get an extra break point when it comes to health. So yes, we're damage boosting his shots, which is still good, but he's gonna be missing a lot of his shots because he's a very skill shot based character. We're
Of
only
course.
so we're only really damage boosting every other shot that he's hitting, and it's not even really affecting a break point. Whereas Soldier, we're damage boosting
Yeah.
every single pellet that he lands, which is going to be more overall shots than a Hanzo is going to be landing,
Mm.
probably. Overall, I'd just say it's going to be a lot more value. Damage as a soldier, maybe you can make the exception if it's like a very extreme range, or if Hanzo's using Storm
Mhm.
Arrow, or if Hanzo's in a better position than Soldier. But most of the time, Soldier will be
Yeah.
better. Now, were you going to say something
I
before we
I
got?
think
Yeah. Mhm.
yeah, no, I just think my line of thinking there was because Hansard had already ulted once. So if I can boost him a little bit more, he can catch up with his ult charge because it helps the ult charge build up faster when you
Yeah,
boost them.
so I wouldn't be super concerned with building up somebody's ult charge unless they're already really close and the fight's about to start. So think of it like this, okay? Hanzo's at 30%. You can see that by pressing tab. You know that he just used it. Is he going to be getting
Yeah.
his ultimate this fight? Even if you damage boost him, is he going to get his ultimate for this fight?
Unlikely.
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 So next fight, is he gonna get his ultimate with your damage boost?
Maybe. I mean, if they're a really good Hanzo.
I would say probably. Usually, I mean, like he's already 30%. Typically, people generally get their ultimates once every 2 fights, unless either they pop off and do a lot and get a lot of ult charge, and they get it like they can get it once a fight, or if they are charging it super slowly, like because they haven't done a whole lot, then it can be more than that, right? But generally speaking, ultimates happen roughly once every 2 fights. So Hanzo here, he's probably getting his ultimate right around the same time with or without your damage boost. So the only reason why you'd want to damage boost him is if he was like 80 and the fight's about to start and you want him to get his ult real fast, right? But that's not the case here.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
I'm taking
Yeah.
care of you. Heroes never
And I think I
die.
called out here that
Echoes behind.
yeah.
Hmm.
The fight ain't over. Tactical visor activated. Let them out.
This is
Okay, very nice. Notice a lot more overhealing as we're Valking as well. And then this is probably even worse because it's missing out on so much damage boost value we could be getting. So notice how we're initially coming in here, we're Valking,
I'm taking care
right?
of
And
you.
we're
Heroes
healing
never
them all
die.
up, right? We can look at all their health bars, right? Nobody besides Sigma, nobody really is in need of it. Maybe you could say Orisa, but then even then, maybe not super big deal. Okay, we go over to the Sigma, and then we come back. All these guys are full HP, right? We can see all their health bars. Make sure actively, that's another part of overhealing. Actively be aware of health bars, watch them, pay attention to them, so that you're not overhealing. We continue to heal, we res, and then we come back, and they're all still full HP, and we're healing again, and we're healing again, and we're still on healing.
Engage.
Okay, now additionally, Mercy's ultimate, generally speaking, is not a defensive ultimate. It's not a healing ultimate either, generally speaking. Okay, the reason behind that is because even if she does 60 healing, a second with it, that's like the same thing as just any other support healing up your team. It's not that much, and it's not going to outdo offensive ultimates, right? Pretty much almost no offensive ultimate is going to be phased by 60 healing a second, right? Think
Okay.
Blade,
Yeah.
Flux, Grab, Shatter, any of the above, right? Um, Pretty much none of them are going to be too affected by 60 healing a second. So therefore, it's not really defensive ultimate, and then therefore, also additionally, damage boost is just super valuable. As a fun little factoid, Orisa Bongo, at least this is very outdated stats, so I might be wrong. I'm not sure who. I just realized this now. This is from like, let's say like 2 years ago, but I mean, so I don't
Yeah.
know if this is still accurate. I just haven't heard anybody say otherwise since then. But Orisa Bongo is the highest fight winning ultimate in the game. So,
Yeah, it does like 50%
mhm,
damage boost on it.
yeah.
Something like that. Yeah.
So it's just the concept of damage boosting a whole team is really valuable, and it also charges up everybody's ultimates faster. Does a whole lot of damage. You do a whole lot of damage to them, you kill them, they can't damage you. You don't even need healing, right? That's sort of idea. And you should only be healing if it's really necessary, right? Watching low HP, in danger, right? Those sorts of things. That's when we actually heal. But that wasn't really the case.
Over here. Good choice.
Healing stream engaged.
Okay. Notice how once again the fight's starting and we're leaving our pocket target, so soldiers up top, and maybe for not a big reason, we're dropping
Healing
from the
stream
high ground
engaged.
from the soldier, right? So this is giving up superior positioning, right? Not sure if we talked about this last time, but high ground's fantastic. Right? High ground's really good. It gives you a lot of survivability and visibility,
Hmm.
and we're kind of giving that up when we don't really need to.
Yeah, I
Hanzo's
think you
coming to us
mentioned it. Yeah.
anyways. And then we're
Hmm.
leaving our pocket target when Hanzo gets healed up in 2 seconds, and then he's fine, right? We could heal him up, back to Soldier immediately, right? And Soldier's, yeah, you can't even see him, but he's 1 HP right now, right? So we could
Hmm.
have healed him up and then immediately swap back to Soldier, but instead we kind of drop and then we heal up these guys who aren't really in need of it, and Orisa's not really our job unless she really needs it. She doesn't really need it at the moment, so we're just not on the right target.
Power up. Do something.
Barrier won't hold together.
You needed a doctor. Moving up.
Drink up here.
Uh-oh. What's maybe the problem with this, Riz?
We've already lost the fight.
Yeah, last time did we talk about kill feed watching?
Yes,
Yes. So, remember,
yes, we
do
did.
you remember,
So if
yeah.
you lose, it's one or two fights you can, or one or two deaths you can still maybe win it, but two, three, it's either or a win or a loss already.
Mm,
So we basically already lost the fight here.
yeah, exactly. You got that exactly right. I like that you remember the
Yeah.
numbers. It's 1 to 2 advantage or disadvantage, 2 to 3 won or lost fight, right? So here, definitely, it's
Yeah.
a 6v2, definitely a lost fight. Even if it's 6v3, that's still a lost fight. So resing just staggers yourself and staggers your
Yeah.
other teammate that you res. And then you're familiar with staggering, right? No?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, alright.
Yes. Yes.
We still need you.
Pick yourself up.
Right beside you.
So now we're just gonna end up dying, and then, yep, and then there you go.
Yeah.
So now our team's trying to go in, and we're all the way back here, right? So we don't even get the touch. If we had just let them, if you again, if you recall, when you've won or lost a fight, or sorry, if you've lost a fight, you either get out if you can, or in that situation where you can't, you let them kill you, and then that way you're not staggering. And we probably could have touched as a whole team here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Healing stream engaged.
Okay. Quick snapshot, right? Nobody needs us. Swap the soldier, right? Stick on the soldier. We're just swapping way too much across characters when we shouldn't be.
I could use some assistance.
Okay. Possibly could be, or probably should be Valking here. So that we
I
can
could
end up
use
winning
some
this fight. We're
assistance.
kind of just letting them run at us with ultimates. Um, is there in this fight, is there maybe possibly just where you're thinking in your head that we've already lost it, or that we shouldn't be taking the fight, or kind of I'm just wondering, like, do you remember kind of what you're thinking through in this fight?
Yeah, no,
I could use
I
some
think
assistance.
that because the Moira was ulting, I was pretty sure that if I'm going to Valk, she's just going to continue beating me, and I'm just going to
Mm,
end up losing my ult and just die anyway.
okay.
So I figured it's like,
So, firstly, potentially we could be using it earlier. I'm not. Last time, let me just real quick check it out. Did we talk through ults that are used first get more value than ults that are used second? I don't think we did.
could you repeat that,
Yeah,
please?
ults that are used first generally get more value than ults that are used second.
Yes. Oh
We
yeah,
did.
yeah, we
We
did
did. All
talk
right.
about that last time. Yeah.
So here we could probably be using it like around here, right as Moira's popping it. I think the Moira's actually popping it with good timing. We could probably be Valking a very similar timing, right? Additionally, note a couple things. Firstly, Moira's ult does not have unlimited range. It has a beam range on it. So look at Moira when she's ulting. If she stops looking at the floor, it actually has she's or a wall, right? It actually has a range on it, um, which that seems. Why does it look extra long? I guess okay, here it is, right? That's the range on it. Um, that is something that you can actually probably get to the edge of if you're flying high in the sky. Additionally, note as well that you have very high mobility when you're in Valk, so you can just swoop to a teammate and instantly be out of the way, and then also you have self-healing while you're the whole way through while you're Valking. So she's probably not going to be damaging you very much faster than the Valk. And then additionally, this is already 3 seconds into her ult, so she's only going to be damaging you for 3 extra seconds, right? So it's 3 extra seconds of damage while you're self-healing and moving around very fast, probably going to be enough to kill you. I would probably say no. You're most likely good here. Now, this would be different if they had Visor, or if they had Bob, or if they had High Noon. That's a different story, but I wouldn't usually be too scared of a Coalescence.
Okay.
I could use some assistance. Adaptive circuits
And also, it's a situation. Also, if you're like 1 HP, then don't pop it either.
Mm.
for your own safety. Get behind the barrier. Let's get you back out there. Team up for special attack. Let me get you patched up. Let's get you back out there. Damage boost
Okay,
engaged.
so you can kind of just see more of this where we're just not really doing too much in particular. So we're on the soldier, then we swap to the Sigma, probably unnecessarily, right? So we want to be on the soldier, then we come over and instead of damage boosting, we're healing the
Let's get you back
soldier. We
out
swap
there.
back to the Sigma, and then we swap to these guys over here.
Yeah.
Here, as a general rule of thumb, rather than just kind of swapping blindly to people, try to be aware of their health bars and swap to them if they actually need you
Mm.
to swap to them, right? You don't
Yeah.
want to just turn and every single person that you look at just put a beam on them. You want to look at their health bar,
Yeah.
keep your beam on the soldier, be damage boosting the soldier, and then if Torb needs it, then you put your beam on him, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's kind of what we've been seeing is we just see a ton of juggling where we're going person, 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 person,
Mhm.
person, 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 right? When
I think it was
yeah,
because there wasn't like a fight going on, so I was
mm,
just
mm,
doing it, just because there was nothing really happening.
yeah. In which case, I mean, like Soldier can still be doing stuff from here, right? So Soldier can be
Mhm.
doing stuff, so that's something to pay attention to. And then even
Yeah.
during the fights, we're seeing that same habit continue. So just
Yeah.
keep your eye out for it. That's not to say that you never want to juggle, because there are situations where you should juggle. Examples where you'll probably juggle a lot more because team comp dictates playstyle. You'll probably juggle a whole lot more if you don't have as many good pocket targets, right? Like soldiers are a really good pocket target, but if let's say you're in this example, let's say that your soldier is instead on a Genji, well, then you'd be scratching your head going, all right, well, I don't have too many fantastic pocket targets here. Maybe I'm just going to be a lot more situational with who I'm on, right? And you're going to pocket Genji for his blade and pocket you pocket your Torbjorn when he's in a good position or Sigma if he's ulting, right? Those sorts of things. And you're then in those situations you bounce around a lot more. You wouldn't have a default target. But here we do have a default target. So we want to default to default target when nothing's going on.
Ow! Damage boost engaged.
Tactical visor activated. Resistance neutralized.
Powered up.
Yeah, I think I called the
Damage
echo
engaged.
out again there.
Let's get you back out there.
So I was trying to be more aware of the surroundings like we talked about last time. So I
That's
was trying
good.
to look
I'm
behind.
taking care of you.
Yeah, because I knew they had the flying hero, so I
The battle
was
continues.
trying to look behind as well in case they were coming there.
That's good. I mean, we did spot her a couple
I
times.
could use some assistance. I need healing.
Okay, probably could be ulting somewhere around now, right? Once again,
Heroes
pop it. There
never
you go.
die.
Whereas I said it, you had perfect timing.
What is that melody?
Okay, like notice how I'm not calling you out on healing people. You know, Rissa and Sigma here who are both 1 HP in danger, right? That's
Mm-hmm.
100% a situation where you should be healing.
Yeah, I felt like it happened a couple of times actually during this
Healing
game where
sequence
the
one.
Sigma
You
ulted
should
when
be
he
ready
was
for
less than
battle.
half HP.
Mm.
And I think he died like 2 or 3
I can
times
see I'm
during the
almost
game while he was
heroes
ulting, so we
never
didn't get
die.
a lot of value out of his ults.
Yeah. He,
Um,
mm. Yeah,
yeah,
which
yeah,
is
no.
definitely gonna happen. Sigma here ults
Mm-hmm.
when he's full HP. You know, maybe he's just not popping it soon enough, and he's just floating because he ults and then he floats and then he floats and he floats and he doesn't have any cover. So that that's still poor positioning on his part and whatnot. So that's unfortunate.
Team up for special attack.
Okay, no, we're back on the Iris,
Ich flimmere
and
mit
then
meinem
as we're on
Licht.
Orisa, soldiers dying, right? Who we
Yeah.
want to be on.
This is not the end.
Yeah, I was really I remember this moment actually. I was like really scared for a second because I'm like, oh
Mm,
shit, I should be healing Orisa instead of resing the soldier.
yep.
But I was really lucky that the Orisa survived.
Yeah, probably a good idea. The only time you'd ever go for the res over healing is if you are 100% assured or very highly assured that the person's going to die no matter what. But if you think that you can save said person
Yeah.
by healing, then you heal and then res afterwards.
This is not the end.
Yeah, yeah. No, I remember that being like an oh shit moment. Like, oh shit, oh shit.
I'm taking care of you.
Uh-oh. So here we seem to be a little out in the open currently. Not really using too much cover that we're standing near and utilizing. Potentially could be like over here, for example. And then that means that
Mm-hmm.
we have a lot more cover to work with, and we can still see our teammates and have a health
Yeah.
pack and stuff like that. But here
I I
mm,
actually think I was trying to get there. As I as I was dying to the dynamite.
mm, yeah, it's just in this situation the main thing. I'm not sure if you're saying like after we're trying to run around or if we're trying to walk forwards here. Um, but yeah, we're just very out in the open as of the moment, and then that's mainly what causes our death here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So being there sooner probably would be helping a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Good as. Where does it hurt?
Amplification matrix ready.
Right beside you.
you in my
Damage boost
sights.
engaged.
The soldier's been popping visors with no. I guess there's like one
Don't
soldier
stop
there,
now.
but I feel like he's been popping visors with
Let me
nobody's
get
there.
you patched up.
Very nice. Reses so far, aside from the one that happened after the fight was over, Reses have been very on
Have a
point.
tab.
We still need you.
I think.
Let them out.
Okay. Nobody's really needing it. Right again, it's kind of the like, yeah, Reinhardt's down 20 HP, but maybe damage boosting soldier through a Bapple window probably is more value than healing up 20 HP. I would definitively
I
say.
don't know what it is, but I just have this mentality that I have to have everyone at full
Mm.
HP all the time. It's just like I don't know. It just bothers me not seeing people at full
OCD
HP.
kicking in a little bit.
Yeah. It just really bothers me. There's no other way to explain
Yeah, so maybe a little too much healer kicking in
it.
there. Yeah, so just keep
Yeah.
in mind that it's one very, very good to have people full HP. That's a good thing, but sometimes it's the weight of which is more important to heal 20
Hmm.
HP or to get some other form of value, right? Like if you were to say which is more important to heal 20 HP or to get a res off, you'd say res 100%, right? But
Hmm.
you also have to identify is which is more worth it to heal 20 HP or to swap to somebody else who needs more healing or is more in danger, or to heal 20
Mm-hmm.
HP versus swap to soldier who's shooting through a window, because then soldier's just shredding through people really really fast, right? That that probably say that's more
Healing stream
value.
engaged. Heroes never die.
The enemy. Come and face me.
Gale the Mahal.
Let me
60
get your
seconds.
patched up.
Okay. No, we're kind of using our ult defensively here. We waited until we saw a bunch of criticals and then started to use it rather than using it offensively at the beginning of the fight. Though I think that is a little bit more okay because we're kind of waiting to see how the swing of the fight goes. We think we can maybe win off the window here,
Healing stream
maybe something along
engaged.
those lines. But we also,
Heroes
yeah, so
never
I guess it's
die.
not like too bad. Oh, we're also up 2 people, so I guess honestly that's not too bad of a decision. Um, yeah, okay. I guess I can retract my statement a little bit because you are just kind of you see that the fight's winnable, and then this is kind of the spur is your teammates kind of needing it. So I think that's reasonable. Taking a second look.
Gale the Mahal.
Let me
60
get you
seconds.
patched up. Helden sterben nicht. Activating self-destruct sequence.
The payload is approaching its destination.
Mercy in Bereitschaftsdienst. Cover me.
Das Universum sinkt.
Oh snap!
Ready
Forgot
for battle.
forgot about the time for a second there. All right, so gonna do a quick review, main points, and then wrap up from there. We can do a quicker review since you have your notes as well afterwards. So when it
I'll
comes
be
to
watching
ability
from the
Mm-hmm.
usage, flight not really too big of a deal. I didn't really see many issues with your flying. Which last time, yay, improvement. I think last time we had that at number 2, where we said ability usage slash survivability was a big thing, because you would, if I remember correctly, you were kind of accidentally flying into the enemy team on multiple occasions, right?
The
Or
prognosis
Yeah.
messing up your flight or something along those lines, right? Where we'd accidentally
Yeah.
end up flying into danger. So that definitely did seem a lot more consistent, where we weren't doing that at all, which is really good. Now,
Now I just need to blue beam more.
yeah, essentially, right? So flight good. Um, let's see. Res is good. Just watch for, don't res in between fights or when fights are won or lost, right? That's not really gonna be very good. And then overall,
Yeah.
probably abilities it just goes to like a low to medium, nothing real high, right? Maybe even yeah, let's say a low to medium priority for you to work on.
Double kill.
Ult usage, make sure you're just using it at the start of fights. Try to hold on to it. Ults that are used first generally get more
Where
value
does it
than ults
hurt?
that are used second. Um,
Double
remember, it's
kill.
not a defensive ultimate. Use it aggressively for usually you're gonna. We did it a lot of times, and we just pretty much just healed for 90% of our ults.
Double
But
kill.
you should probably be more like 70% damage boosting through your ultimate, and then healing if it's necessary, right? If you need to.
Yeah.
Just because the damage use
Okay.
is the better way to use your ultimate in most cases. Not all, most. That last fight is maybe an example of one where it can be used a little bit more healing. Um, and then overall, that's maybe more so like a lower end of a medium priority for you to work on. Beam usage, make sure we're thinking about our target
The
priority
dread.
with our beam usage, right? Pocket targets or default targets, right? Default back to the
Double
best
kill.
targets to be on, and every single time, right? Come up with
Double
I
kill.
didn't discuss this, but come up with a list in your head for every single game and just think, okay, who should I be on? Is my best default targets, right? Do like a 1, 2, 3. That way, if your number 1 is dead or out of commission or not in a good
Double
position, you
kill.
can go to number 2 and number 3 for the same reason. And then also come up with kind of the like specific scenarios in your head, right? Like
Yeah.
okay, I'm gonna go to Genji if he blades, or I'm gonna go to Hog if he hooks somebody, right? Those sorts of
Yeah.
things. So that's
Double
very
kill.
helpful to just know when and how you should be ping-ponging around.
Weapon discharge.
Make sure not overhealing, right? Watch
Double
health
kill.
bars. Make sure you're swapping to damage boost immediately as soon as you're not
Healing
needed.
stream engaged.
Um, we're just missing out on a big part of our kit because we're like overhealing for a lot of the time instead of doing other things we could be doing.
Yeah.
Overall, that was like that whole category is like a medium high. Maybe there's a couple other minor things that I'm forgetting to mention. Um, then you have positioning. Positioning. Continue to use cover. Continue to use high grounds. Don't drop from high grounds
Never knew I
unnecessarily.
had it in me.
Besides that, pretty good, right? Not a
Double
lot of
kill.
issues.
Just been discharged.
That's maybe a higher end of a low to
A
medium. And
little bit of improvement.
so yeah, improvement. I think that last time that was 4. I'm not sure where we put that at though last time. In terms of on kind of the scale.
Double kill.
Um, and then finally, you have awareness. Awareness is pay attention
Catch you
to
hunting?
health
Double
bars
kill.
and pay attention to, what's happening in the fight, watching kill feed and who's winning, who's
Double kill.
losing. Where's my team? Where's the enemy team? What's my team's danger levels? What's
Double kill.
what's my teammates' health bars at, right? Um,
Hmm.
those sorts of things. Generally, pay attention to your surroundings. Press tab. Recommend pressing tab at very minimum once between every single fight. Though could even do more than that, and that gives you a lot of awareness.
Double
And then
kill.
overall,
Yeah, I tried to press tab just to kind of see
Double
where
kill. Triple
the
kill.
ult percentage is.
hmm
So, like, if someone is, let's say one of the DPS is above like
Double kill.
80 or 90%, then I try to kind of boost them a little bit more so they get that ult
Double
before the
kill.
fight starts.
yeah, so that's
Um,
that's that's definitely helpful to know all your teammates' ult charges. It's also going to give you info on did you swap any characters. That's going to dictate
Double
who are you
kill.
actually pocketing and when, which we just
mhm,
discussed, right? And how are you
mhm,
playing? That
Double
dictates
kill.
other parts of your playstyle as well. Did they swap any characters? Because their team dictates how
Double
you play
kill.
as well. Maybe that's not something we discussed yet, though, in depth at all.
mhm. Yeah, I
Right?
don't think we have.
Yeah. Overall, that was probably
Double
like
kill.
a medium priority for you to work on. So to put that all in order, number
Mhm,
1 came
okay.
out to
Not
the
good.
beam usage. 2 came out to probably your awareness, with 3 being your ult usage,
Double
4
kill.
being your positioning, and then 5 being ability usage. Just,
Mhm.
tiny tad bits here and there.
The Dao
Alright,
Army.
any
Double
questions?
kill.
No, I will continue working on those. Thank you. I will
Alrighty.
try to play a little bit more comp this week.